There we go. Now I think it's working. Sorry for the delay. It was giving me a hard time this morning. Good morning, everyone. Lighting my sage. So I didn't forget it in the other room this time. Hi, Stephanie. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Donna. Grand rising, everyone. Hope you all slept well. Summer. Hi, Summer. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Connie. Hello, hello. Nice to see you all. Chantal is here. Hello, honey. Hi, Amma. Hi, Lori. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Chandrika. Hello. Thank you again for the gift, Chandrika and Michelle. I'm wearing the gift, and I was just cutting cords with Chandrika's gift a minute ago, actually. So thank you both. You're so wonderful. Much appreciated. Adriana's here. Hi, honey. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Jessica. Many thanks to Adriana again for helping me to write that salation post. I couldn't have done that without her guide, Zach's help, and for her time. So thank you so much, Adriana. I really loved to having that conversation. Good morning, Bradley. Hello. Daniel Jackson's in the house. Hello, Daniel. Hi, Maria. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Erica. Hi, Leanne. You guys are so, I've been wondering the last couple days about why everything feels so weird. And then I saw the Schumann resonance last night and I was like, oh, okay. Because things have been seeming a little bit strange the last few days. Is that ash on my face? I think it is. And yeah, I've been having really weird ringing in my ears. I've been feeling quite ungrounded and tired and just kind of like blah the last few days. So anybody else feeling a bit off with these weird energies? I'm going to put some essential oils on this morning. This is a essential oil that was not cheap, but I'm really enjoying it. It's Idaho Blue Spruce. I got it because it's extremely high vibrational. They're saying it's one of the highest vibrational trees in the world. So I'm like, oh yeah. And funnily enough, when I first started wearing it, it was a bit much for me. It did make me feel a little nauseous, funnily enough. So I guess my vibe wasn't high enough to wear it at first. But after I've been wearing it for like the last 2 weeks or so, and whenever I smell it, I do feel like this. I don't know. It's like upliftment when you enjoy that. And it has, the reason I'm mentioning it is because it was actually helping me with some of the headaches I had over the weekend. Because I was having like ringing in my ears and then I would have a headache. Like it wasn't a bad headache, but it was more like pressure on the third eye. And then it would sometimes switch to pressure on the temples as well. So yeah, the ear ringing was getting really annoying until I saw Adriana's post and I was like, oh yeah, these are ascension symptoms. Duh. So the funny thing is, like, it's hard to really diagnose an issue sometimes because there could be so many different causes from it. Like chest pain, for example, like you would normally think, well, that's probably just, I need an antacid or something. You just think, well, I'm just going to eat a Tums and it'll go away. But when you get into this kind of work, you start to realize that it could be the sign of an attachment. It could be a sign of you picking up something in your frequency, like in your area around you, that's kind of different vibration. Sometimes it can be a visitor, like people with a very high frequency can also cause that too. So it's hard to kind of figure out what is the issue when you have so many things that are causing the same issues. But yeah, if you guys have been drinking a lot of water, if you've been grounding yourselves and it's still happening, it's probably, the headaches are probably caused by ungrounded energies. So make sure that you're going out and hugging trees. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water. That's another big thing. Nobody drinks enough water. Nobody. Nobody drinks enough water. Whenever I do a clearing on somebody, I'm like, is there any aftercare advice? And the guides are like, yeah, drink more water. And I'm like, okay, every single time. So you need to stay hydrated, and it's not just water. You need your electrolytes too. So make sure you're adding things to your water, even if it's just a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of lemon juice. Doesn't matter. It can be a fruit juice. Just add something to your water to help you, obviously, keep the nutrients up too, because it's very easy to deplete yourself at times like this. Jessica says my deceased cousin kept visiting me and even stopped by in my dreams last night. Wow, Jessica. Those dreams are very powerful. So I'm sending you a great big hug right now. And have you made sure he's crossed over? Your cousin has crossed over already, just to make sure they're not an earthbound, like knocking on the door, going, "Hey, can you help me out a little bit?" It's just making sure. Karen says, "Hello, fam. I've been sick." Aw, Karen, I'm sending you some big healing vibes. I'm sorry to hear you've been feeling unwell. For those of you, obviously it's winter time here in the northern hemispheres. So for those of you who have been feeling a bit under the weather, make sure that you're doing something about the astral parasites as well. Remember, gargling salt water, using a neti pot, even putting some sliced onions on your feet. You'd be surprised how much that will actually draw out bad energies. I shouldn't say bad energies, but astral parasites and all kinds of funk. Did you see that South Korean plane crash? No, I didn't see anything about that. I don't usually watch the news. I get my news from you guys, from the internet. So I'm sorry to hear there has been a plane crash. I'll look into it. Things have been very strange over the weekend. Did you guys see that new video with Marie? I've already had 3 people message me or tag me this morning going, "What the hell is up with Marie?" Marie Svarter's video this morning was very, very odd. It's only 3 minutes long. I have no idea. Don't ask me what it's about because I have no freaking clue. It was really bizarre. It's almost like a test video. Like, I don't know why I feel like that was a test. Like, I don't know what kind of test would have a video like that, but it was just very weird, especially how she kept saying break. And yeah, anyway, very odd video. Things are getting weirder by the day, you guys. No joke. Stephanie says, definitely don't feel good, but it's hard to tell if it's the shaman. Yeah. So make sure that you're grounding yourselves. Make sure you're getting lots of rest, drinking lots of water, eating healthy. Make sure that you're smudging your space regularly. Yeah, she has been having some issues lately. It's not the one about the drones. There's another one that went up 2 hours ago. Really freaking weird video. I'll show you the screenshot from it. Yeah, important new message format 3 hours ago. That one. It's only like a minute or so long, but it is definitely a weird one. I don't know what's going. It's 3 minutes long. But yeah, if you guys end up watching it and you get any insight, please let me know because yeah, it's very weird. That's the one. It looks like that. Very, very weird. There's also been there's a lot going on up there right now. We're not the only ones that are having weird issues right now. I think the Taygеттans have been going through a lot of stuff. My laptop's going dead. Laura, what about Penn Station? Can you help them with SRT? I don't know what you mean about Penn Station. Is this something else that's happened? What is going on? There's been all kinds of crazy stuff, huh? Paranormal stuff going on? There's been a ton of interference with vagus nerve. Interesting. Just reading through all the comments. You guys have been going through a lot this weekend as well, huh? Amanda says, I joked about my protective door mat, keeping the eggs out, and after I closed the door, something smacked hard into my door. Well, I'll make you jump. Right now, I'm telling you, things are getting weirder by the day. Like, I feel like the shift is ramping up right now, which is one of the reasons why the government's also being really weird. You've noticed the drones on Idaho-Oregon border since last year. Well, that's where a lot of our bases are. We've got a lot of bases out, military bases out in the Midwest. So anywhere near a military base, you're going to have extra weird things happening. Maria says lots of joint issues. I can barely walk or bend my wrist sometimes. Really strange, actually. Have you been avoiding sugar, Maria? Because joint issues, a lot of them are caused by sugar. You'd be surprised how much these things can build up in your body. Any specific questions? There's a lot of random questions and answers, popping up right now. Anybody else noticing their electronics going weird? Jay, I did notice that too. Yes, my electronics have also been really weird. My car keeps dying randomly. Like my battery will just be dead for no reason or explanation. I've swapped out the battery 3 times. It's still not fixing it. And then it was funny. I went to jump my car and my car jump was dead. And I'm like, I just charged this last night. Like it was at 100% charge. And now when I go to use it, it's at 0%. Like that was really weird. So then I come in my house and I'm like, fine, I'll just do some cleaning and wait for my thing to charge. So I go to turn on my radio and my radio was completely dead, even though I also charged that the night before. So I'm just like, what the hell is going on? It's very weird. And Alma says, what about last Friday about your mic? Oh, yeah, that. I forgot about that. You know what's funny? My stepdad, who's pretty much a skeptic about almost all the things I talk about, he saw the video clip from my chat on Friday where my mic went all weird, right? It's like this cloud. It's like a plasma cloud appeared around my mic. And he saw that and he's like, I need an explanation. That was really weird. So I went to ask my guides about it, and yeah, my guides are playing coy. Nobody wants to fess up to who did it. I was told to ask a specific guide who's actually Arcturian. So I think that was their hint that the Arcturians were the ones that were responsible for doing it, because I do work with Arcturian guides for clearings and stuff. And when Zach was like, ask such and such, I was like, oh, okay. Now I know. I don't even have to ask. Now I know. Like, I know. Yeah, they're members of the Federation. They don't really appreciate, I shouldn't say you, they don't appreciate the trash talking. I'll put it that way. So yeah, that was because of my subject matter. The reason why they started, you know what's funny is that at first I was all like, whoa, mesmerized, right? And then I found out who was responsible to a degree. And I found out that really they were just validating that, yes, they didn't like my subject and they were trying to distract me. And I totally fell for it. And that is when I was like, oh. It's no longer as cool as it could have been. They were just trying to shiny thing me and it worked. Me and my ADD brain, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you know? So yeah, that was just them mesmerizing us, trying to get us to distract ourselves. And it freaking worked. So they're not going to get me next time. They're going to have to do something really impressive if I'm going to be distracted next time from my little rant. Me and my ADD brain, shiny thing, woo, totally worked on me. Not next time. Alicia says talking trash like in the NBA. Kind of. Kind of. I don't know if they like being referred to as zookeepers, but they are the zookeepers of this planet. So, but anyway, I'm not going to start my rant again. They don't need to go all woo on my mic again. Okay, noted. It's basically, they made the point of, you don't need that kind of negative attention on you right now. And I was like, you're right. I've got enough of that. You're right. I don't need to go calling more attention to myself. And they did make it very aware that, yes, there are people that are not humans that are listening to my podcasts all the time. So it's a reason why my YouTube channel has been getting a lot of views. I don't think they're watching via Facebook. I didn't realize there were so many galactics that like my podcast. Thank you for joining us. So yeah. Susan says, did you see my post in the Lost Soul Rescue group? No, I was vegging most of the weekend. I have a lot of catching up to do. I'm well aware on my messages, on my clearings, on a lot of things. My mediums have been very busy with family too. So I'm like 4 weeks booked out for clearings right now. I have only done clearings once in 1 week. So it's killing me right now, this whole holiday season. I need to get back into the flow of things. So I'm waiting for my mediums to be home and ready to work. This is why we need more mediums, you guys. We need more. I only have 3 mediums that I work with because we don't have as many that have been certified already. So for those of you who are interested in certification, make sure that you check out Confident Soul Katie, so you can sign up with our training, because we are going to be doing more training very soon. We need more mediums. My God, this is crazy. People should not be waiting 4 weeks for a clearing. This is why I'm very excited to have more people trained as both mediums and facilitators, and why I'm happy to pass on cases and start delegating cases for people. So that way, you know, in the future, that would be the goal, right? Is to where you get a clearing same day. You book a clearing the same day. You've got somebody that is trained and ready to go. And if there's any issues, of course, you can always message us and let us know, and then we can do rechecks and things. So that is the plan, because there's just way too much work for one person. It's insane. There's way too much work for 10 people, let alone, you know, the hundreds that I'm planning on training over the years. Matt says, how about hunters? Do you need hunters? What are you even talking about, Matt? What do you mean, hunters? Elaine says, signing up with Katie for February. Fantastic, Elaine. I'm so glad to hear that. Wonderful. Pensy says, I just signed up for Jono and Andy's online course. I'm very happy to hear that, Pensy. Very good news for you. Even though I am no longer in the academy, I am happy that people are going to be doing this work. So the more the merrier. We need all the help we can get. How much experience would someone need in order to start training? Are there any financial aid options for that? Yes. Our training is going to be a lot cheaper than the academies. This is one of the reasons why I had to step away in the first place. So yes, we are going to be charging less than 20% what someone else is charging. So yes, there are going to be a lot of options for savings and for making payments, or maybe even down the line some more scholarships. We've already taken on 4 scholarships. So for anybody that is interested, Pensy says, I didn't know you weren't with them any longer. Yeah, it's a long story, but I can't trust them anymore for my own personal sake. When somebody does something dishonest to me personally and to somebody else that I care about, obviously the integrity is no longer there, and I can no longer, you know, continue doing what I was doing. So I will be making sure that I can maintain the integrity of my own academy, because that's the only power I really have at this time. So yes, Katie and I joined up. Katie left the academy 6 months ago, and now she has started her own, and she and I are teaming up together. So it's going to be a great opportunity for those of you who really wanted this training but knew you couldn't afford the very large fee. So yep. Well, there you go, Pensy. Hit me up. She says, Lara, the Rebel Alliance. You know what they say. If things aren't being done right in a certain way, I guess you got to do it yourself. Where can we find info about the academy? Confident Soul Katie. As I mentioned, Katie left the academy 6 months ago. She started her own certification process. So she's got her own accreditations and everything now, which is one of the reasons why I've joined up with her, because Katie has extremely high integrity. So this is one of the reasons why I'm so ecstatic to work with her. And as Dr. Palmer used to do, Dr. Palmer used to train people over a 3-day weekend. 3 days worth of training, right? So this is something similar. We're obviously not going to go the very short route. People have as much training as they feel they need. Because obviously, you know, some people after 3 days will be like, I don't think I've got this. And other people after 3 days will be like, well, I've already been doing a different form of SRT work for the last 10 years. So they've got it down in 3 days because all they really needed to learn was the new technique, the new style. So really, it all depends. Every person is different. Every person is going to require different methods of learning or different lengths of time. So obviously we're going to account for all of that. And so yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of new things coming out of the woodwork. It's not even 2025 yet. Just wait. There's going to be a lot of cool things happening. So yes, Confident Soul Katie on Facebook. If you guys want to follow her, I'll find. Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. Here's her page. So you guys can follow Katie, message her, hit her up. She's away with family right now, so another reason why I haven't done clearings very much the last few days. All my mediums are visiting family. But yes, if you guys will see, you can follow her on Facebook. There you go. Message her. Let her know you're interested in training. And she will send you all the good info. Aaron, this is the thing, you know, like everything happens for a reason. And this is a blessing in many ways. Even though it's unfortunate situations, everything happens for a reason. So I am by no means sharing any of this information to make anyone doubt their abilities or to doubt, you know, any of the other things that we've done together, because they are legit. It's just that some people feel that they have the right to charge more, and they do. They absolutely do. People have the right to charge whatever they want, you guys. They totally do. But there also should be options for other people, right? Because if you can't afford one option, there should be other options available. And that was the problem, is that there wasn't any other options available. It's like a monopoly, you know, and I don't like monopolies. I really don't. That game Monopoly is part of the problem, if you know what I'm saying. So, you know, whoever wants to pay a larger sum and work with them, feel free. Like, I'm happy for you. But like I said, those of you who would like another option, that is why I'm here. We need more options. So that's all I really want to say on the matter, because I'm trying to keep the things positive. I don't need my mic to go all crazy again because I'm being negative. Keep it positive. Right, Bradley? Be positive. The one thing we can count on in life is that it will change. Exactly. Daniel says, as your science officer, I'm going to have to suggest we prepare to the teeth. Yes, exactly. Preparation is everything. But the work that we are doing right now is getting more and more exciting by the day. Like, we are going to be doing some incredible things together. And this whole freaking planet needs a clearing. This is why I say there is no competition. None. If people want to go work under a different flag, by all means, please do, because we need all the helpers we can get. We really do. There could be 1,000 of us doing these clearings and we still would never have enough people. We need this to be a common thing. As common as psychiatry, this needs to be. So we have our work cut out for us. Mira says it's the black moon tonight, which adds to the weird energy. I believe it was last night, but either way, or is it tonight? I don't remember. But either way, yes, definitely are feeling those energies today. I believe that they were real too. Clearings and medical issues, just holding on to the reins too tight. Yep, exactly. And I'm a wild horse that cannot be broken. I really am. If something doesn't sit right with me, I'm gone. I'm like, beep, bye. See you later. Is it possible when a clearing is done that it actually makes the phenomenon we're dealing with stronger as opposed to getting rid of it altogether? Well, it depends on what you mean, Matt. Like, you mean example, portals stronger? No, it doesn't. It closes portals. So no, nothing really gets made stronger from a clearing except for your own ability to heal yourself once the blockages and other funk are removed. I didn't want to say this before, but I had a big bad entity show up when I had my SRT. I just had completely removed from my field. So many comments, it's moving. I hope you're feeling better, Susan. Hi, Elise. Nice to see you, darling. Miss you. Bradley says, yes, always be positive and just remember when you have a moment of anger, frustration, just use the fourth agreement. Yes, the fourth agreement from Don Michael Ruiz, and always do your best. We are human and we all mess up, but we can always do our best and try harder the next time. Love that, Bradley. Well said. Oh, it's Summer's birthday. Happy birthday, Summer. Love that. Black Moon tonight. It's a manifestation amplifier, so watch your language. You'll make it real. That is one of the things I need to do more often. It's to watch what I say, clearly. Not even about what you say. It's about how you say it. It's the tact card that I keep getting with tarot. They keep giving me the damn tact card. They say that tact is the ability to make an argument rather than an enemy. So it's the ability to present yourself or your argument in such a way that they actually consider it rather than just taking it as a personal attack. Will prices be accommodated for different currencies? Yes, Jessica. Yes, they will. That is 100% part of the plan. In fact, if you are in South Africa, we have a South African plan where we're going to be teaching a South African class. So yeah, we are absolutely planning to accommodate for different currencies. Katie and I have already discussed it, and we are already planning 2 different courses that are just for certain countries. So that'll be set for your time zone. I believe those 2 were already South Africa and Australia. So yeah, we've already discussed that. That's a big part of the plan. Daniel Jackson. That's what I had for Christmas, Daniel Jackson. And it came out perfect, for the record. Nailed it. Bradley says, words are creation. You have 2 options when speaking. You can speak positively or negatively. That's it. What about indifferently? I have a feeling I can also speak indifferently. Just got a notification. Another solar flare. Are you serious? We've been getting some crazy flares. Hang on a second. Let's see what the flares are doing this morning. So for those of you who aren't aware, oh, come on. My phone is being really weird. See what I mean by technology? Technology is being all kinds of fucky today. Okay, so you have an app. It's called Magnetic Storms. And if you go to the Magnetic Storms app, yeah, you see the solar. We're getting all kinds of spikies. And then if you go down to the graph, ooh. Oh, you guys, that's a lot of spikes. Look at all those spikes. Wow. And is that? Yeah, that's another X-class flare. We've had 1, 2, 3 X-class flares in the last. There were 2 yesterday and 1, it seems, this morning. I believe that is X-class. It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, that's a huge flare. Lisa says, I get headaches or neck pain when flares and solar flares. Yes, that is because you've got a very wide open crown. That's what happens with people that have very wide open crowns, just for the record, is you're pulling in all of this energy and it can get very intense. Okay. So put a hat on. That helps. To make sure that you drink lots of water, to make sure that you are grounding yourself. Because if you think about it, right, you're like a lightning rod. If you're not grounding yourself, the energy is all rattling around inside you and there's nowhere to go. So make sure that you are grounding yourself. Best way to do so is to, walk barefoot outside, to go hug a tree, to go have a sea salt bath, to visualize the roots growing out of your feet. I actually have a Faraday hat. It's out in the other room. I've been wearing it because of the whole 5G tower thing. But I actually have a Faraday hat, which I think is helping a little bit. So a Faraday hat, for those of you who aren't aware, hang on, I'll just show you the one that I got. I did order it on Amazon. I don't usually order things from them unless they can't get it anywhere else. So I'll show you the one that I got. But I could actually tell a difference with this hat. It doesn't help as much for psychic attacks, just for the record, speaking from experience. So the Faraday hats, like this one's called Golden Cocoon, right? They're about $50, but they have oh my god, what are they called? Silver lining. So they actually have silver threading throughout the whole thing. So it is good for blocking radiation. They actually have like ways of showing how they've actually tested it. So yeah, I have actually noticed that when you wear it out, you're not as much affected by electromagnetic energy and other things, because the EMF is kind of crazy. Where's the thing? I want to show you what it looks like on the inside. Oh, whatever. But yeah, it blocks cellular and I wouldn't say blocks it completely, but it does help to kind of acclimate the energies a bit for you. And it's much nicer than a tinfoil hat. Exactly, Michelle. I don't know if it's more effective, though. A tinfoil hat might be more effective. So yeah, you get Faraday blankets as well. Just for the record, they on that website, they sell Faraday blankets. So it's literally like a silver mesh threading that goes through. And it does help. So we'll see. Let's see. The fact that your neck is also being affected, like, it just goes to show, like, that you have a lot of energy coming through. Grounding sheets for your bed are also good. I have not actually got a grounding sheet. I've heard a lot of people swear by them. Thank you, Dr. Scott, for bringing that up. I completely forgot about grounding sheets. Anybody have a grounding sheet that they feel is really effective? Almost says, what does copper pillowcases help? You have a copper pillowcase? Really? Like copper threading? Militia says, is this all happening in America? Usually. It all starts here, bud. Remember? And then it spreads. Yeah, we're always like, was it patient zero? Always tends to be us. Even with that whole flu crisis that happened in like the 1900s, that happened on an American military base. Started, I should say. So yeah, we're always like the first guinea pigs that have the weird shit happening. Do you know if grounding blankets actually work? That's exactly what I want to know too, Joanne. Anybody else have one? Michelle says, I have a grounding mat for my feet. I just have a bunch of plants that I dig my fingers into all the time. I'm always like planting my pots. In fact, anybody know anything about yellow pothos leaves? I don't know what's wrong with my pothos. I have a pothos that's absolutely massive, and she's losing all her leaves right now. So that is how I ground myself, as I dig around in my plants. This is another reason why I don't have any cats or dogs, because if you guys see the rest of my house, it's very, very green. I have plants absolutely everywhere, including like growing up my whole everything, like my walls, you name it. I have plants everywhere. I know, Michelle. I'm so upset about my pothos. It's lost like 12 leaves in the last 2 days. And I'm like, no, stop. I take my plants very seriously. So yes, if you guys spend time in the dirt, I'm telling you, that's very grounding. Mira says overwatering. No, I am meticulous about my watering. So no, it's not overwatering. I don't know what it is. I've been giving it some banana peels. I'm hoping that's going to help. Maybe too much sun. I actually think it's not enough sun. I think the sun has moved because of the way that the years passing goes. I'm pretty sure my house is in a weird angle, so I don't get enough sun. So actually, that was my plan today, was going to go out and get a new light bulb and do like an indoor full spectrum bulb to see if that helps, because I think it's the light. I don't think it's getting enough light. But thank you anyway for helping me to diagnose my plant. I do give them Epsom salts on occasion. I do. I'm a big plant mom, let me tell you. My pink philodendron is like 3 foot tall now. I'm so proud of it. That was the gift from one of you guys, actually, my pink philodendron. So pothos do not like loads of light. Well, maybe, I don't know. Good to know. Okay. We'll see how it goes. Thank you for the suggestions, because it's bothering me. I keep asking my house fairies. I'm like, house fairies, save my plants. What's wrong with my plant? Michelle has 75 African violets. Are you serious? I have one, and that one I think I did overwater. So, yes, it hasn't been flowering in a while. Oh, I love African violets. They're great. Miss Nito says, I use a grounding sheet and sleep like a baby. Just don't touch the end of your phone charger while you're sitting on it. What? Really? You get a little shock if you do. That's funny. Oh, my husband just put a light strip under my counter for herbs. I'm so excited. That is awesome, Maria. Love that. See, growing your own herbs is it's a really good thing to do. So, any other questions? We're literally just having such a random conversation today. There's 111 people, 111 watching right now. We're just talking about plants. Anybody want to talk about something specific today? Since we're just being random. Summer says, I've never been successful with those. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. The African violets, is that what you're talking about? No, me neither. Thank you very much for the tips, you guys. I really appreciate that. What advice for a friend of mine that's into some dark arts, has Book of Shadows, etc., saying she's getting hunted by a demonic entity? Well, yeah, this is what happens when you dabble, unfortunately. They had to leave their house and go to the bush, and it followed them to the bush. Yeah, because it's attached to them. It's not attached to your house. Sometimes it does attach to your house, but in most cases, no, it's attached to the person that was doing the meddling in the first place. The problem is, right? I have a friend who has several past lives doing dark magic, right? And in this lifetime, she is the polar opposite to that. She is doing everything she can to work very strongly for the light. She's completely turned a new leaf, so to speak. And yet every time she does things like light a candle, she has to be extremely careful because of the fact that it can bring unwanted attention due to her past, right? So people that have a past with this sort of thing, there's already entities lurking, waiting for opportunities, right? Because they know your history. All entities do. They can read your Akashic record, and many of them actually have a history with us on a personal level too. Most of the times when you're being harassed by a demonic entity, this isn't your first lifetime being harassed by that specific demonic entity, especially if this is a long-term issue. So this could very well be past life stuff that is carrying over into this lifetime, unfortunately. Especially when it comes to dark magic, because they consider you to be one of theirs. Like they feel like they own you, like you're a commodity to them. So they feel like they are going to control what you do and how you do it. And that is why they are so influential for certain groups. We'll just put it that way, like cabal interest groups and all of this. I actually did a clearing on what I would consider to be like an Illuminati family. This is a family that straight up is still in all of the shit in this lifetime. And my guides told me, they're like, look, this is sometimes when you have multiple lifetimes leading up to this issue, it's not just clearing somebody in this lifetime. It's clearing multiple timelines, multiple realities, multiple issues, because usually there's some really strong past life resonances that are also underlying issues to this. So no, running away is not going to fix the problem. Of course it's going to follow you everywhere you go. That person needs a clearing. They need a full clearing, and they need one for curses as well, because there's a chance there's a curse and a contract involved. Because unfortunately, when you make a deal with an entity, even unknowingly, they consider it to be like ownership. And they'll follow you to the ends of the earth. It doesn't matter. They'll follow you off world if they have to. Sorry, there's a lot of questions. Hey, Laura, I love your contents and stuff. I never had a clearing before. Do most people have something attached to them? Hey, Paul, it depends on the person. I'd say about 70% of the people I check are not sovereign. Children, it depends on your age too, because children are more likely to be sovereign. In most cases, I'd say about 40 to 50% of children are not sovereign when we check them. So most children, I should say, at least the predominant portion of them, are sovereign. Because children have a high vibration, and having a high vibration is a natural deterrent. Because I love that one analogy that Chen gave us that one time many moons ago, if you think about it. It was where if you have those spinny things in the Oh my God. It's like a merry-go-round, the really small merry-go-rounds that they used to have in playgrounds, right? Well, if you are spinning it slowly, it's easy for kids to jump on and off. But if you're spinning it like a mad person and it's going crazy, the kids go flying off in all directions, right? Well, that's why they can't hold on. You can't jump on very quickly. Very easily if it's moving very quickly. So that's the same thing. It's like the vibration, when it's too high, they just bounce right off. They can't connect to you. You have to be matching frequencies in order for them to connect. So on days when you're feeling really good, when you're feeling like, it's just a wonderful day and you're happy, and in most cases, then you're kind of self-protecting in a way because you're high vibration. Like I said, it's a natural deterrent. But on days where, your family's getting you down, you're stressing about money, your boss is being a dick, all of those things add up, your vibration goes down. You just happen to cross past a portal where one is waiting and you can pick them up easily. Because like I said, it's all about being a vibrational match. I missed if you addressed my comment about possible portal-related voices in my house. Well, portals open very easily. You need to set the intention. You can close portals yourself. If you are the one that opened the portal, you can easily set intentions to close it. You can do, as remember, we do the 5-pointed star. I have one on my wall here, so you can use that as a guide. Come down, up, 5-pointed star, counterclockwise circle. This is really important. Counterclockwise. Set the intention, and it will close the portal. A portal can open within 5 minutes of a clearing. You can open a portal while the clearing, like they literally just went and closed portals, and as you're busy doing something with AI on your computer, you open another one before they even finish the clearing. Yes, unfortunately, portals are one of the biggest problems when it comes to attachments. They're everywhere. They could be in electronics. They can be, I found them in remote controls. I found them in smoke detectors. I find them in microwaves all the time. We find them in vehicles all the time. We find them everywhere. If there is a closet that has clutter in it, your chances are you're opening a portal in there, because the clutter tends to kind of, it's like all that stagnant energy tends to kind of do this for a while until it opens a portal. Michelle says, there was a portal in my third eye. Yeah, entities leave those open. Entities open the ones in the chakras. The reason for that is because your energy center is trying to flow properly, right? Well, what happens when you go and, throw something in a flowing river, right? Well, they're trying to either, cause some kind of disruption, or they're trying to cause a blockage. Or they're trying to invite more things in. They do that a lot. They'll open portals and put a beacon right by the portal. So that way, it's not only is there actually a portal open, but there is a signal being placed by the portal that is calling more attention to the portal. So, oh man, if this is what I say, like if you guys could see the astral, you would be astounded by how much is actually around you. How many weird things we find in houses. Like, it's funny too, with my mediumship developing the way it is, I'll say something like, do you see any devices in the home? And as soon as I say that to the medium, I will start seeing devices in the home. I'll start seeing weird shit in my mind's eye. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And this happened the other day where I was like, what am I even seeing? And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, there's something on the roof. I'm seeing like gray box with silver things coming out of it, like almost like silver tubes with like a light on it. And they were like, hang on a second. And they're like, oh yeah, that's the beacon. I was like, really? Where is it? They're like, it's on the roof, like you said. I was like, I could see it. I could literally see the beacon. It looks like a little box with lights and little thingies coming out of the top. So you'd be surprised. Like if you could actually see the weird shit they put in your house, you'd be like, what the hell? Like really weird stuff. And the tracking devices. They have tracking devices, recording devices, and beacons. Those are the 3 most common things we find in people's houses. Aaron says, oh my God, that is why cleanliness is next to godliness. Well, I'm sure there's lots of reasons. Cluttered space, cluttered mind, as they say. Last time I took mushies, right? I took a bunch of stuff and shoved it in the closet because it was in my way. I like to have my space clean and clear. Like I can't have anything around me when I'm tripping. Like I need to have all of the stuff. It needs to be minimalistic, right? I don't know why, but as soon as this starts, kicking in, I'm like, oh no, I need to have everything clean. So I know now that I prepare in such a way, right? Well, the reason I mention it is that you'd be surprised how much these things actually mess with our minds subconsciously without even being aware of it. So I start to notice it when I'm obviously, partaking, but normally we don't notice those things because we're so distracted, right? Well, the one time that this was happening and it was bothering me, my guides were like, Laura, you need to sort your closets. And I was like, why? What does it matter? They're like, no, cluttered closet, cluttered mind. And literally, they had me cleaning out my closets while I was tripping because I couldn't stand the thought of my closets being a mess. Because yes, even though you may not see it, even though it may not be, something you think about very often, it's still affecting you. It's still leaving potential for portals to open. There's all kinds of, literally everything you own has an energy signature that you're keeping around you. In fact, one of the guides, I forget who it was, but there was one person who had a lot of, what was it? There was something around their house, collectibles. That's right. It was collectibles. I forget whether it was theirs or family members or what, but there was some kind of a collectible where they had like 200 of them around the house. And the soul guides were like, look, nobody ever touches them. They're unloved. Like, yeah, they're collectibles, but they're not loved. They don't feel like nobody's touched these things in 20 years nearly. They're still sitting on the wall collecting dust. And the guides were like, no, this needs to be removed. This needs to be cleared out. Just because you're not touching it, it's still in your energy field and it's still holding energy from the other people who originally purchased it in the first place. So you'd be surprised how much the items you have around you are holding the energy. Like, for example, if you buy something from, if you received something from an ex, right? An ex-lover that you no longer speak to, where things ended very badly, and yet you still decided to keep something from them. You're literally establishing cords with those objects. This is one of the reasons why sometimes it takes so long for us to heal certain situations, because we've got things that we're still holding on to that are in our house that still carry their energy. And there was this one case for hypnosis session a couple of years ago where a friend of a friend went for a session because she wanted to know why she had a bad car accident, right? Her car was completely totaled, and yet she walked away fine without a scratch on her. And she got a new car out of the deal and everything, but she was still wondering, like, what the hell was all that about? So she asked her higher self, why did I have this accident? And the higher self said, we needed to wreck that car. The higher self was like, your ex-husband bought you that car. It had all kind of bad juju. We needed to get rid of the car. Sorry, but the car had to go. So they literally destroyed the car one day just so she would have a new one. So that way she didn't have that energy anymore, because she wasn't beheld to him karmically anymore by driving around something that he purchased, because he was a very abusive man. He literally beat her all the time. And yet that is one of the reasons why they got divorced, but she was still driving the car around that he gave her. So, it's like these things still retain energy, and quite a lot of energy too. So another reason why it's a good thing to, just smudge them and regift them if you have to. I wouldn't say that it means it's going to be bad energy because it's from your ex, but because it's somebody else's energy who you're still, it's not going to allow you to move on. You can't move on if you still got somebody else's energy around, right? So this is another reason why it's good to just give things to someone else if it's no longer serving you. If it's in your house and you're no longer using it, it's like your closets, right? If there's an outfit in there that you haven't worn over the past year, donate it. It's just sitting there collecting energy in your house, creating clutter. So over this weekend, that's part of what I did, is my guides gave me shit about my basement. So I went down in my basement and I reorganized everything. I forget which guide it was, but they were like, Laura, are you trying to open portals? And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, your closet in your basement. And I was like, oh yeah. Why'd you have to go look into my basement? You can't hide anything from the soul guides. They see everything. So I still have stuff down in the basement that I haven't unpacked from 2 years ago when I moved in here. So yes, my basement is an issue. I am well aware. So this is why I say, like, your guides, they're going to be like, come on, clear away all the clutter. So if you guys have any spare time or any ability to clear out some stuff that's no longer serving you, cut the cords with those objects too, so to speak, if you know what I mean. Lori says, being neurodivergent, I have an extremely difficult time decluttering my apartment. It overwhelms me and I can't even get started. I have had similar experiences myself, Lori, with that overwhelm. And so, there's that analogy where a couple months ago where I forget who I was talking. It was Chen, that's right. And I was like, there's just too much. It's too much to handle. There's way too much going on. I was extremely overstimulated in all of what was going on. And my guides, I'm pretty sure it was Chen, said something like, if you walk into a bedroom that is utterly destroyed, like let's say your kid's bedroom is just a total disaster zone, right? You go in there and you see the mess. And the first thing you want to do is give up because you're just like, this is going to take me a week. Like, there's no way I'm even going to be able to make a dent in this. This is crazy. And then you want to walk away. You just want to immediately give up. But instead, go and focus on one little corner, one little aspect, one little section, one room at a time. It doesn't matter if you're only spending 10 minutes a day on it, because that 10 minutes a day is progress. It's total progress. Even though it's slow progress, it's still progress. And there's nothing wrong with slow progress. In fact, you know what they say about the tortoise and the hare, right? Sometimes slow progress is the one that actually makes it. So you got to just take it one opportunity at a time, so to speak. And also give yourself like little bits of encouragement here and there, because sometimes when you look at something, you're just like, oh my God, this is impossible. And then you make that feeling within yourself, right? So you just look at it and you just think, well, this is going to be difficult, but I can do this. I love that, Amanda. Amanda says progress over perfection. Exactly. Yep. Felicia says, Rocky quote, one step, one punch, one round at a time. Yes, exactly. So don't beat yourself up either, okay? Because we all have been there. We've all had an empty cup, so to speak, where we just burned out, exhausted, fed up. I myself have been feeling like that for the last week. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Maybe some of my rants have been a clue, but I have been in a bit of a mood the last week or so. It took me a while to figure out why. In fact, I actually had to sit there for a couple hours and meditate on it. Obviously, the academy stuff was heartbreaking. It was soul crushing. And that was part of it. There's obviously been some new changes that are going on, and change is also scary. It's always scary for people. Change is a big scary thing for me anyway. But to top it off, today is also the anniversary of my father's death. My dad died 12 years ago today. And when I realized that last night, I started crying and I realized, okay, this is why I'm in a funk. This is why I feel like my cup is completely empty right now, because I was grieving without even realizing I was grieving. Holiday season is really tough, especially when you don't have your favorite people with you, and my dad has always been my biggest fan. He was my biggest supporter. And when I lost him, it was crazy too, because I had so much belief and excitement this has happened in 2012, right? Because so many of us, we believed in the whole 2012 shift thing. We all believed like something was going to happen, or at least I did. I believed like December 21st, 2012, there was going to be something really big that happened. And when that didn't happen, when there was no visual change, I felt really dumb for falling for it. But then to top it off, a couple days later, my dad died. And it was like the worst timing ever. Because I was already feeling very, vulnerable and sad and lost. And then to lose the one person that you feel supports you and understands you the most. I just got chills. I think he's here right now. Thanks, Daddy. Love you. So yeah, it's hard. Christmas is really hard for people that have lost someone. And the last time I spoke with my father was Christmas Eve. So Christmas, if it wasn't for Aiden, I wouldn't even probably be celebrating. And Gail is here. Gail is my godmother. I've basically been calling her. Gail's been one of my longest family friends. And if it wasn't for you, Gail, I never would have been able to say goodbye. Gail drove like 2 hours in a snowstorm to my father's hospice just so she could hold the phone up to his ear and I could say goodbye on New Year's Eve. So it's the anniversary of that. I love you, Gail. I'm giving you the biggest hug right now. Thank you for that. Because I was in England at the time and I couldn't even get a hold of anyone on the phone. I could not get a hold of anyone on the hospice to get through. So this was the only way I could actually even have that conversation with my dad. So thank you, Gail. I love you. Giving you the biggest hugs today. I know you really miss my dad too. You've known him a lot even longer than I did. But anyway, you know, these are really painful times, but we're all getting through it, right? It makes us stronger every day. Michelle says both of my parents are gone too. Sending you big love, Michelle. They're not completely gone, as I can feel my dad's presence right now. I can literally feel him around me right now. It's because I'm talking about him. Love you, Papa. They're not gone. It's just that we can't see them right now, and that's okay. We will see them again someday. And, you know, it's very painful to want to see them and want to speak with them. And I would give anything to hear his voice right now. But, you know, it's just one of those things where we're still in these bodies. We still got work to do. We got a lot of work to do. And so they're watching over us and protecting us. And it's a comfort to know they're still around. You know, because considering what atheists believe, it could have been a lot worse, you know, considering what some beliefs are on this planet, you know, what the truth of it all is actually a much better alternative than most considered. So it is nice to know that they're still around. And talk to them like they're still obviously able to hear you, because they can. It gives them some comfort too. It's not just difficult for us, you know, it's difficult for them too, that they can't be seen and heard. So another reason why mediums are, they're worth their weight in gold, being able to be the phone for us. Anyway, I am just sitting here going off, not realizing it is the start time, isn't it? Look at that. It's Monday. Love it. So thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. And I love you all so much. Thank you for listening to my little rants on Mondays and Fridays. It's wonderful to spend time with you guys. And like I said, if you're interested in the SRT training, please do contact Katie. Katie is the one that is organizing all of that. I'm going to send the link one more time for all of you. If you're interested, please do follow Katie. Chloe says, I just joined. Are you okay? You seem upset. I'm okay. I'm okay. Let's just talking about some personal stuff. Thank you for asking. Amma says, I was lonely on Christmas time and had a medium session with Adriana. Very happy and glad I did. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Adriana's the best. We love you, Adriana. So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And some of you are going to be joining me on a Mastara, which is be great. So nice to see you there. And for the rest of you, I will see you tomorrow. We have Minty coming. My favorite, you know, premonitionist is going to be coming on. He's going to give us some insight. And I have actually asked Minty to do a reading. I've paid Minty for a reading. I could have kept that reading private, but I decided to do it live with you guys. So you'll get to see what it's like to get a reading with Minty tomorrow. We'll get a little bit of insight, and he might even do some quick little readings for you guys as well. So that'll be great fun to see Minty and to hear about his escapades through America, as he's been having a great time here, I'm sure. So I love you guys. I will see you on a star, or I will see you tomorrow with Minty. Mwah!